Brendan Rodgers putting as brave a face as he could on it. I mean, Simon, he says they're good boys. No, they're not. They're bad boys. We've seen this before.
Let's give Brendan some credit, though, I think, first and foremost,
so.
for drawing a line. And, look, unacceptable behaviour, and I'm going to punish by not playing football. Now, that's actually detrimental to him, his position in the club, in terms of, the quality he's had to leave out the team that could have made a difference in the game. So I think credit to Brendan for actually showing the courage to make an example of them. It would have been easy, like other managers have done this season, to not do that.
But what a week for them to do this, Danny. I mean, when you look at it, there was a game that was there to be won against West Ham.
Any week, Jim. I mean, look, my only surprise is that we've gone this long without another episode of players being found out breaking COVID rules. There's obviously a mindset change, isn't there, from a lot of people now, with the light at the end of the tunnel, everything reopening, people getting a bit more back to normal. But as a footballer, we keep talking about the responsibility, but that responsibility, the penny doesn't drop generally with most footballers. I've told you, I was guilty of it myself. It's that bubble, it's that arrogance, it's that I can do what I want to do. I'm above the law. It's the way it is.
What would you do if you were at the top at Leicester? And honestly, that's honest of you to say that, Danny. Not for the first time you've said that. But what would you do, Simon?
I don't think I would need to do anything, because I think my manager's taken care of it. He, I thought, did a very, very good interview when he talks about the expectations of standards, because standards underpin the culture of a football club, and then they interlace with the ability and the determination of a team. And when adversity comes, when you've got those sort of characteristics inside a side, you can overcome them. So I thought Brendan Rodgers was very articulate, very eloquent. I think the courage of his convictions is an important thing. I think also with the climate, it's very difficult for him not to have those courage of his convictions, because he would be lumped in to the bracket if it found its way into the media as a result of him not doing anything about it. But I think that he is saying, having managed at Liverpool, having managed at Celtic, this is the standard of excellence that I expect from people. Whether it's, and Danny's right. The world is a strange place right now, and I have my views on some of the ridiculous rules that we will have to adhere to, and I find them difficult to comprehend.
Yeah, but rules are rules.
But rules are rules, and the players themselves.
I can't be bothered with people flaunting them any longer. We're bored with this now, Simon, including you. Why, we're getting intolerant of it. We're almost out the other end of it. Respect it.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, and as a profiled footballer, you're damaging yourself. It's interesting that Brendan talks about players don't like getting fined either, so they should get both. Right?
They will.
They don't like getting fined.
Yeah, but should he include them in his FA Cup semi-final squad?
Well, he undoubtedly will.
There you go.
Some might turn.
So there you go. Pat in the back.
Okay. Yeah, but how long's the punishment?
Well, how long do you need to do? When do you decide that someone's been redeemed?
When do
you decide that someone is a recidivist that carries on doing it? You've concentrated their minds. What do we need to do next? What do we want
the good boys?
Do we want their apology?
Concentrated their minds.
Well, they're stupid young boys, and there's a world full of stupid young boys out there that are not as profiled as they are. They live in an institutionalised environment where, from the age of 15 years of age, they're told they're wonderful, and then we expect them to be in the real world when it suits us, and not when it doesn't. The real world doesn't pay 19-year-old boys £100,000 a week. The real world doesn't have people grown men screaming 17-year-old kids' names in adoration. This is the world we put them in. Now, that doesn't give them an excuse. What you do then is how you consequence them. And the consequences for people like James Maddison might be significantly more far-reaching than a smack on the wrist, a loss of his place against West Ham.
He
may lose his role in Gareth Southgate's mind.
Can he kiss goodbye to the Euros?
Yeah, I think so.
I think especially after the casino episode where he was ill to not join the squad, then he was in see, Gareth Southgate, similarly to what Brendan's talking about, Gareth's produced a level of standard of behaviour, and he's had to deal with quite a few episodes, hasn't he? We've dealt with him on the show. Yeah. Where England players have stepped out of line and Gareth's made the rule. Gareth doesn't put up with that type of behaviour.
So why should Brendan put up with Maddison in the FA Cup?
But he didn't. Well,
because otherwise, what Brendan's ultimately doing with someone like Maddison, because of his ability and talent, he's.
Well, who determines the punishment, Jim? So so if you leave him out for 2 games, some people might say you should leave him out for 3. If you leave him out for 3, some people should leave him out for 4.
5, yeah.
At the end of the day,
Leicester fans are furious.
Well,
yeah, but many of them are absolutely furious.
I'm sure they are,
because they've compromised their club.
And I'm sure
the most important week of the season.
And I'm sure that Brendan Rodgers is equally as furious. But the players will have been dealt with. And I think at the end of the day, what do you want? An apology in blood? Would that suffice? Or do you want them banned for 3 months? Or do you want them banned for 6 months? Do you want them banned for a year? Do you want them... What is it people
Do you
want?
take them out of the equation for the FA Cup semi-final?
want
Which is a
apologies.
showpiece
He's just said he's not. They're going to be back in the squad training and then available.
Well, there you go,
selection.
then.
He's just said that. Now, if they... But what could happen...
So how would that help Leicester... Sorry, take them out of the FA Cup.
It wouldn't help them.
How would that help the Leicester fans' fury?
But how have they helped their club
No,
by
they
doing
haven't.
what they did?
They've been bloody stupid, and they've been smacked for it.
They haven't helped them, but what they could do is you now give them a chance, and everybody should have a chance to redeem themselves, and that's in a massive game again. Is it next weekend, the Cup semi, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if Maddison, with his ability, bends on the top corner to put me in an FA Cup final, I don't think the fans would be saying
But it
he
is
shouldn't
progress,
play.
Jim.
But they might have liked him to have done that at the London Stadium yesterday.
We should be... Sorry, Simon. We should be applauding, like Simon said, Brendan's actions. Other managers haven't done that, first and foremost. Yes, he might have been pushed into it, I don't know, but he's done it. The punishment is down to him as the manager of the football club. How long does it go on? I can tell you this much. I don't think the other players in the squad and the supporters of Leicester would want them punished moving forward into the FA Cup semi-final because they want to win it. And having Maddison available gives them a better
And that's
chance.
the trade-off that you live with.
Yeah.
Managers are often prepared to prostitute themselves to be able to compromise for players. People have to bend over backwards at times. And at least, and I'm not the, I like to hit people hard. At least he's had the courage of whatever you do. If you take them out for the FA Cup semi-final, if you take them out for the running of the games, and they don't get into the top 4. There will always be a consequence, right?
Yeah.
It's about how much of a consequence people want. In this society, people want endless apologies. People want an endless set of retributions. It's the cancel culture mentality gone mad. They've been consequenced. That's the end of it.
Well, Jim, let me spin it. What would you do? Your man, put yourself...
I think
just for a
judging
second.
by the heat
Honestly.
turned
yourself-
up by the Leicester fans yesterday,
Yeah.
if you're really going to see it through,
You drop them for the Cup semi-final.
take him out the Cup semi-final.
No, you
But,
wouldn't.
I'm asking you, as you're the manager, you think that could be...
I agree with you. I think
that
Brendan
could be a
dealt with it
detriment
well,
to
and I
you,
think he chose
couldn't
his
it?
words well.
But Brendan could be cutting off his nose to spite his face. if he
Exactly. It's such an important moment that they've got to the Cup semi-final and they want to go one better and then one better than that.
I think he's
But
damned if he
hasn't
does
been-
and damned if he doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just,
But it's the whole culture. But Jim,
he's
the
been
whole-
left hung out to
but
dry
the whole-
by his own players.
The whole culture of football is a liberty-taking culture. And it's about how far your liberties go. And most of the time, it's when it becomes atrocities. We go back to the day in the mid-2000s when it was roasting in hotels and whatever else it was. There is a culture inside football at times that a liberty is the norm and it's only an exceptional set of poor behaviour that gets dealt with. But we are now seeing a bit more courage of their convictions, a bit more, well, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to have that. Because we wouldn't want to go into an FA Cup semi-final week losing against a team that is competing inside the top 4. So he's already sacrificed something. That will do, I think.